Oh, it feels good to be back. Lads, what's going on? Welcome back to my Sorare 26 journey. Episode 11, Baby Trades, is currently sleeping. Hopefully he sleeps for the duration of my recording. Otherwise, I am effed. But, oh, the cat's just come in. What's going on, lads? Feels good to be back. We're coming out of an international break where I think we've had 3 game weeks worth of international things going on. There's obviously been some domestic stuff. I think Brazil continued to play. I think we've got a bit of J-League as well on Friday, as you can see with this lineup here. But yeah, we're back for episode 11. It's been a while. I almost don't even remember where we were. I had COVID last week. I was out for the count. And yeah, we're back with game week 19 to look forward to this weekend. I'll review what's happened over the last 3 or 4 game weeks. I think we'll have like game week 15, 16, 17, 18 to look over. I won't spend too much time doing that, hopefully. And then, yeah, build some lineups for this upcoming weekend. We do have, before I get any further, we do have the Bundesliga duos happening this weekend, where if you join me in playing the Bundesliga limited comp and we both score above 380 points each in limited, that's right, I am playing limited for this upcoming weekend. We both, I win $10 and I think you would win 50. Like it says 50 up here. I don't really know the ins and outs of it. Basically I haven't played Bundesliga limited before, and that's how I'm able to get multiple people in. But normally, if you've played it once, I think you can only have one partner. I don't know the ins and outs of it, lad, but there's a link below. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But these lads, if you're watching, appreciate you all clicking the link and stuff, because hopefully we're gonna hit the 380 and bag some cash this weekend. I've also been buying some Bundesliga limited to do a little sort of experiment, maybe is what I should probably call it. And I'll get into that. I've made a spreadsheet which might shock some of you. I'm actually organized for once. And yeah, other than that, there's a link in the description. If you're brand new to Sorare, I'll get you $150, pounds, or market credits, or euros worth of market credit, to get yourself set up. That's only for new players only. Both those links will be in the description. Without further ado, lads, let's get into everything. So let's do some recapping first. I've got the Sorare 26 tracker. I did forget to do the players thing that I do. This thing. I did forget to do that for game week 15, which was last episode 10, but we'll do that for game week 19 this upcoming weekend. But yeah, game week 15 then. So that was the game week where I won Mittelstat. So I won a star, which was a bit mental. I won 2 cards. If you watched I did a rewards video about it, so it's not sort of new news in any way. But this was the extent of the game week. I finished 4th in Champion Rare, which was a bit mad. D1 as well. So yeah, that's where I won that Mittelstat. I still haven't sold him. He hasn't been up for sale for a few days now that I think I'm going to use him in the Bundesliga comp. In limited, I was super close to taking down the Eredivisie comp. I did hit the streak. I did hit some podium cash, finishing 9th. But Debusa got an own goal, which was just absolutely brutal. And yeah, had he not done that, I'd probably go on to win the comp, or if not, really, really close. With 200s to kick off the PSV boys playing on that Saturday it was, and it was all down to the go ahead boys on the Sunday. But yeah, didn't go to plan. But yeah, other than that, it was the champ, was it 2? Challenger was a bit of a nightmare. I did hit the first streak in contender again by the skin of my teeth by 1 point, which is just hilarious. 2 stinkers and 3 good scores there. So I'm looking to hit that second streak this upcoming weekend. But this is where I won that Mittelstat from. Bundesliga Bayern stack effectively with a bit of Aliash Garcia in there. Got my captain almost right. Obviously, Bruno was the last player to play, and he did score 100, which was mental. But yeah, there was a couple of variations that could have made it better. I had Lopez, I had Guiri that outscored Aliash and Neuer, but I was never really breaking up the Bayern stack. Although I didn't even think I would play Tar, to be honest, because Tar's just been terrible, hasn't he? But yeah, overall that was an amazing week. Going into the international break. And then, to be fair, I did spend quite a bit of money, in relation to classic cards for this international break. I'm an absolute killer for an international break in general. Wales only had 1 game, and I did end up winning a good amount of essence here, as you can see, from these under 23. This was the midweek, so last midweek, from those 2 comps, D1 and D2, and then a little bit more essence here. I did spend like, I think I spent like £100 on, like I bought Christensen, I bought Damsgaard and Grealish, and I bought Dzeko actually for this lineup. I probably shouldn't have, but like I saw that I had a Livakovic really good fixture. I had Andy Moran, who I thought would do really well. He didn't. I actually traded in that Calvo as well. So yeah, I don't know. I just degened into international cards, and you know, it's not to say I can't use them again. I actually bought a second Christensen, captained one of them, which was great. But yeah, DMPs, Van Hecke and Miley there absolutely killed me. So that was the midweek. This past weekend was okay, but probably, I mean, to be honest, no, it wasn't okay. If we're looking at, you know, the stats there, probably my worst weekend so far in Sorare, but international break, and, you know, I kind of get it. Trubin had a double stinker, had a double game week, and was just terrible. So yeah, not much luck this past weekend. Suso DMP here in a golden arena. Like, I could have taken this down had he just played, I think. Akgun completely DMP'd in the first game for Turkey. I had my Macedonia stack here do pretty, or North Macedonia stack do okay. Got the captaincy right, but Bojan Miovski letting the boys down there. Did a couple of late arenas because I had a few DMPs, and yeah, nothing really came of them apart from XP. But I think I had a bit of a, yeah, this one was pretty good, but the scores on the weekend were just astronomical because of the double game weeks and stuff. You just couldn't get near it, you know, unless you had like hundreds everywhere. But on the brighter side, this game week right now that we're talking about, so this is the midweek, game week 18, I'm on a bit of a heater, lads. Have a look at this, right? 10th in under 23 rare, D1. Looks like that should hold. I'm farming a bit of essence, so like in the international breaks, you can get kind of lucky, and like you can put a couple of players in, and as long as you don't have like, or as long as you don't score 0, you can normally just farm a bit of essence from the under 23 D2 and D3 comms quite nicely. Now, of course, you could get relegated from D2. You can't get relegated from D3, of course. If I was trying to farm it from D1, you're basically guaranteed to get relegated is the issue. So that's why I kind of do the farming in like D2 or D3. So that's that. I took a big DMP here with Hansen. I had Eunice Akgun Super Rare, which I didn't use because I didn't think he'd play after not playing the first game. And of course, he ends up scoring. And they go on and beat Georgia. I think it was like, 4-1. Bardaki got the assist. I had Jardim last night with me, $25 in credits, which was great because we've had the missions and stuff, which have made the international break so fun this week, this past couple of game weeks. I'm currently in 9th in D2. Have a look at this, lads. Everyone smashed their face off. I got my captaincy perfect with Manning. I actually have 3 Ryan Mannings and use them in all 3 lineups, which is, I mean, yeah. I didn't have that many players to choose from, so, you know, he was getting used regardless. But I have like 2 Cherries, I had 2 Kobe Henrys, and I can show you here. This one's still alive. So this is 10th in D3, and this is 9th in D2. Barriel smashed last night for Santos, last player to play. I thought Trincao would at least get off the bench, and he didn't, which is absolutely gutting because this should have won D2 realistically. I'm projected 14th, which would be a tier 2, which I'd bite your hand off with a DMP, and it would get promoted into D1. But this is still alive with Schultz to play on Friday tomorrow. I'm currently in 10th. I'm projected 2nd, which would be a tier 1. Yeah, first to 4th. Sorry, get tier 1s, which would be amazing from D3. Just doubled up on a load of players I already had, Manning, Henry, and Cherry. I played small bone. He was like, all these players were like 60% on, like apart from Vyson and Manning, to be fair. And yeah, Schultz is 60% on as well because he missed the last game, so I'm a little bit worried I get a DMP there, which would be so brutal. But nonetheless, yeah, this has worked out to be a really good midweek considering the last two international game weeks this past week haven't been great for me, especially for Wales, obviously losing to Belgium and maybe struggling. Well, it looks like we're going to struggle to get to the World Cup now. We need to beat, I think, Liechtenstein and North Macedonia in our next few fixtures, and then we have to go into a playoff if we win those two. So yeah, it's touch and cloth right now with the Welsh boys, and it'd just be so amazing to go watch Wales play at a World Cup again. I did it in 22. If I could do it where I'm living now in the US, that would be just the icing on the cake, but we'll see. That's a long way to go. So yeah, that's like the international break kind of done without the game week actually closing, because it's Thursday when I'm filming this. This should be this will be out the same day. And yeah, Big Schultz plays tomorrow, but everything is gearing towards game week 19. I have made a few sort of teams already, which I can easily sort of get rid of and do them again. But like I've just made a few placeholder teams. I've already done my Liga and stuff. I've kind of done my La Liga stuff for now. wait there, before I get into the team, I haven't done all my teams. We'll do some lineup building at the end for sure. But I haven't really got into like what's happened over the last few like weeks, which of course I want to get into. So we'll do rares first. So since I last saw you, I think I would have bought a couple of the challenger lads in to try and hit that 4th streak. That didn't go too well, obviously. I bought Dupe in because I thought he was going to start in game week 15 over Diouf. He didn't. And then this is where I get into like some of the international players I was buying, like Hartman for £3, Providence for £1. I bought another Christiansen. He helps my Pedri for collection bonuses. I bought David Martinez and Dante Celian. This was like a really high XP Celia. I was like, I want to get him in. He actually did pretty well in that first game for me against Bermuda. Didn't do too well against Curacao. I bought a Tahirovic in, Daniel Gonzalez. These are all the under 23 players I was bringing in for like last midweek. Sorry. Again, a load more classic international players, and then that's when we get into the rewards from the last game we had before international break, where I won that Mittelstadt, which is still in the gallery right now. Guy's on an absolute heater. He's on 70% to start this weekend. I'm right now playing him in my Bundesliga comp. But yeah, we'll see if that changes. I don't think that will change, to be honest, and I don't think I'll probably sell him either. I want to try and hit this. I want to try and help you hit this, the $10 to $50 or whatever it is with the Bundesliga duos. He's going to be a big part of that, hopefully. And then I went on my best crafting session, which I uploaded already, I've ever done so far in game week in Sorare 26. James Tavernier, Joris Kramer, they're all defenders as well, by the way, which is just hilarious. This guy I'm keeping because he's part of a Groningen collection I have, and he's not going to do too much for me. And then I crafted Pau Kabasi Ballon d'Or, lads. And it was funny because this was kind of it was off. I made my Tuesday video, like my crafting video. I went to speak on Discord to somebody, one of my members, Andreas, and I was like, I've got 2,000 essence left. I want to keep it for the international break to play some elite arenas, because it's like 1,000 to enter, whatever. And he was like, yeah, fair enough, blah, blah, blah. And then he showed me who he crafted, that past game week, and he had like Vicario, and I'm like, I've just got jealous, right? I got FOMO. And I was like, I'm just going to craft. So I ripped 1,000 essence, craft. It came up tier 2 pool. So I'm like, wow, okay. I'm guaranteed to have a tier 2 plus. I don't know any of the, the leagues or nationalities or whatever. And I obviously had 1,000 essence left, and it costs 1,000 essence to reveal the league. So I was like, F it. I'll reveal the league. And there was one La Liga player there. The rest were like, none of them were champ players. They were like Eredivisie, whatever, right? Jupiler League. Anyway, ends up, I picked, I think it was number 7 as well. I picked the only La Liga player, and fucking Pau Kabasi pops out, lads. Ballon d'Or edition. And then he goes and smashes against Georgia. Didn't play the second game against Bulgaria. But man, like, what a card to own. Like, I'm so pumped to say I own a Ballon d'Or edition. Like, I tried to buy the Estevao, whatever you want to call him, the Chelsea player. I tried to buy his Ballon d'Or edition when it was on auction. But man, to think that, like, you can't buy these anymore. Like, these are just sort of set in stone now, like the amount that's out there. I don't know how many there is in circulation. I'm gonna probably say like 10. I don't know, I'm just guessing, maybe 10. So there's 52 like actual in-season Pau Kabasis, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. It's probably a few more, isn't it? 6. There's only 6 in existence, which is kind of mental, isn't it, really? That guy's sealed his mental. So I'm honestly, I could not believe, because it was like the last hour where you could get Ballon d'Or cards, from crafting, and to get one was just mental. I had the best crafting session. They were all, all good defenders. Kramer's part of my go-ahead stack, and Tavernier obviously plays for Rangers, has been one of the best defenders on the game before he got cards, and Rangers have just been rubbish since. But he'll definitely, be useful for me. And then I made one of the bigger decisions I've made so far in Sorare 26. I basically chopped off the Belgium sort of part of my gallery, to be honest. And this is basically what it looks like. I got rid of all these players that are in red. The rest of them, like some of these are already in my vault. I still own Lansana, who I paid like £110 for, and he's worth like £10. But yeah, I can definitely say that like I've definitely failed on Belgium. I weren't enjoying it, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, it was just one of them where I thought, you know what, I've still got a bit of stock, as far as like the players I had, and like I won a Spielers, I won a Sikwe, for example, I won a Heymans, and And then like the rest of the cards, I basically traded them away for these 3. So I got a Nygren in season for Challenger. I got a Wirtz forward card. I kept the mid card as well. So I have 2 Florian Wirtzes. I'm doubling down on Wirtz. I know he's been rubbish, but whatever, right? And this was all from Trend Trader on Sorare, just one of the trader accounts. Shout out to him. And then Antonio Silva to go with my Trubin in season that I crafted a few months ago. So yeah, I brought those 3 in and basically got rid of all my Belgium cards bar Lansana. I'll show you the trade now. So this was one part of the trade because I got rid of some MLS in season cards as well to go in with this. So there's the Nygren and Wirtz with most of the Belgium cards there. And then the Antonio Silva is just the rest of the cards. Plus I did give a bit of cash as well. Where's it to? Yeah, the rest of the cards and a bit of cash for those 3. And yeah, it's just one of them where like, you know, the Belgium league was the first league to come back on. I got really excited about it. You know, I bought a few cards. The way I've done this is kind of like quite confusing, but I basically got like £120 worth of trade. Well, I got like £140 of trade value, but it would have been £120 worth of actual cash. That's how traders work. You know, you'll get more if you trade with them rather than like if you just take cash. So that's why I traded with them. And yeah, this is kind of how I've done it. I basically just took off every player that I got rid of from the Belgium stuff. I just divided £120 by 10 and basically took off £12 of everyone. So like I paid £52 for Shrevers, but like it says here that I paid 40, if that makes sense. So this is how we end at Belgium for now. So I spent £272 and I won just under 100. So yeah, I obviously didn't win back what I spent, but that like £120 is then gone and transferred into my Challenger stuff. And this is where I've put, you know, where they too, yeah, Nygren in here for 70, Silva. I just basically worked off like their market value effectively, because it's just confusing when you're trading and stuff. It's just a nightmare, especially with this, like keeping myself sort of accountable to all that. And yeah, and obviously Wirtz is a classic card, right? So he's not going anywhere. So I just tried to like value that. Yeah, it's a nightmare, as you can probably imagine, right? Bought a little collection piece for Wirtz, and then I bought a couple more international players because this was for the weekend. I gambled on Batarina starting, he did, and oh yeah, sadly he didn't really do too well. I bought a Baltazar Rodriguez with a bit of market credits. I paid like £7 for him. He did smash, to be fair, on the weekend. That was nice. He was in my under 23. And then I spent a few credits on a Longello, a Callum Ward to extend my Motherwell collection. They have a great fixture this weekend. So I paid half price for those 2 because of the market credits. I then crafted a tier 2 Ramage. So now this is why I'm going into Bundesliga this weekend, because I have almost a decent Bundesliga team for the weekend. So that was super lucky. That happened last Friday maybe, again off stream and stuff. I then bought a couple of Callum Slatteries over the last few days because he's too cheap for me and he's coming back from injury and he's one of my sort of favourite players. I've got 3 of him now, to be fair, so I might flip one, we'll see. I bought a Mitrovic for half price, so I paid like £6.5 for him for my Excelsior collection, and he actually started for Serbia. I have him in my under 23 side, and I then crafted, this was yesterday, after winning like 200 essence from one of the missions. I had 800, turned that into 1,000. I had another tier 2 room. I don't know what's going on. I'm honestly getting a bit of content creator luck right now, because Sorare gifted me another tier 2, like Ramage was a tier 2 room. I like raw dogged him. I didn't have any clues. Same for Mbao. He was a tier 2 room yesterday. And then I bought a little collection piece to go with my Nygren. So yeah, the rare stuff is all caught up there. As far as super rares go, I don't think I've done too much. I did do a trade with Pranksy yesterday, but that wasn't really anything too exciting. I traded my old Carl Darlow. It's a 1 of 10 Newcastle collection version. It's actually the only one in super rare. And he has that collection, so ages ago he was like, if I ever get an in-season Darlow, I'll swap you. So he gave me a Stephen O'Donnell in that trade as well, which helped me get 4% on my Motherwell collection. I did then go buy a Callum Slattery super rare because I'm obsessed with Slattery. Got that half price for 15 quid, and again part of the Motherwell stuff. I did craft this Pathé or Pathé, whatever his name is. I do have him up for sale. Again, was he a tier 2? No, I think he was just a standard draw, to be honest. But yeah, he's obviously a La Liga card. I crafted him with my Super Essence. How long ago was that? A couple of days ago? 7 days ago? Yeah, 6 days ago. The same time I crafted the Kabasi and stuff. So that's like all my cards sort of up to date outside of some of the Bundesliga stuff that I've been degenning into last night. If I'm speaking too quickly, lads, I'm sorry. I'm just excited. I haven't made a video for like a week or so. So yeah, I feel like I'm all caught up outside of the Bundesliga stuff that I've been doing over the last night basically. As far as the profit and loss goes, this is what we're looking like. So we're just above 55% right now on what we've spent to what I've won. And yeah, you know, I'm still really happy with where we are. Like, it'd be nice to have a big win this weekend to chunk off like 10 to 15% of that. And you're looking at like 30% left then for the rest of the season, and that's obviously, you know, wishful thinking for sure. And yeah, not expect like I'd take a couple percent, right? Like, we're definitely on track to chalk off the you know, the amount we've spent and maybe get into some profit, but it's not a given. Like, we're into that stage of the season where like injuries are happening. Like, I had a big injury to my only in-season La Liga forward, which is Pardo. He's got like a 2-month injury, which is an absolute killer. Obviously Yamal's been injured as well, which has been a bigger killer. He's obviously not in season, so having him back is obviously going to be a massive help. But yeah, I'm at that stage where like injuries are just killing me a little bit. I mean, Guiri's out for a few months as well with a shoulder injury. Bought him a month ago, so that's a bit of a killer. I paid half price to be fair with credits, but still, yeah. So we're at that stage where like players are getting injured and they're looking ahead to Christmas and whatever if they celebrate it, and it's just a bit of a killer. But yeah, you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and that, you know, just because I'm at 55% now doesn't mean to say I'm gonna hit 100% by the end of the season. You know, we're on track to, but I think, you know, football's so unpredictable. The amount of near misses I've had in La Liga so far is like, in Super 8, is just brutal. Like, I should probably have another maybe $1,000, pounds or whatever of wins. Like, Pardo missed a penalty in the 110th minute 2 or 3 weeks ago I could have won about $400 if you know, if Haddy's just scored that. Just little, like, you know, such fine margins. I do have a little notification here. I do have somebody's after my Chavez, one of the players that I bought last night in the Bundesliga stuff. He's offered me 22 pence. I'm probably going to reject that. He's only up for 40. But basically, the Bundesliga duos thing is pretty cool right now, in the sense of you can win Essence, another player, or you can win crafting clues. And that was the main reason why I wanted to do this last night, because with some credits, I was buying on auction, I was basically just buying the cheapest Bundesliga players you could buy, which would equate to about £1 a player, like after market credits were, you know, applied. And I'll show you the breakdowns here. So I bought 20 players basically, as you can see here. Not all of them are super cheap, in the sense of, like, I bought a few that I'm gonna use for this weekend, like this Meinke fella. He's the defender for Heidenheim, and he goes with my Danny Ramad. So I'll keep him, for example. But like Stoger, a couple of these I got as the double up cards. So like, as you can see, I didn't pay anything for him. Met's the same, and there's one more, Neuhaus. Yeah, I actually crafted Neuhaus with the, you know, the essence I accumulated here. But the biggest thing I got from this was the crafting clues. Like, the one time, I can't remember which player it was, right? But I won 25 crafting clues. Now, crafting clues have like changed now. They've times by 10. So before it was, you could have a max of 10 for nationality in your balance, 10 for reveal league, and 5 for keep best 5. But now they've just times it by 10 effectively. Similarly, what they did with Essence, because it allows them to like give away. They've basically fractionalized clues effectively, right? Anyway, last night I was on 0 of all of these, and this is everything that I accumulated from yesterday's, you know, buying all these Bundesliga players effectively. I spent £27. So far, I've sold £13 worth of players. I've sold 6 players. Right now, I'm like £14 down, but I've still got all these players to sell. They're all up for sale right now. And I've managed to, you know, get, for rare, like, I'm obviously going to use these clues in rare and above, but mainly rare. It costs 10, does it cost 20? No, it would cost 10 clues, wouldn't it, for rare? So I've got like 2 reveal nationalities, or 2.5. I've got 3.5 reveal league, and I've got 1.7 worth of best 5. Like, I'd need 20 there for that to be like 2, you know? And yeah, they can be obviously the clues are massively valuable, right? Like, had I not had any clues, I would never have crafted that Trubin I crafted a few months ago. So yeah, if I do get into like a star room or whatever, those clues are definitely going to be sort of deployed. I'm still maybe not done with buying more of these Bundesliga cards, because, you know, at worst, you know, there's a lot of hype to sell into, just because everyone's playing for the Bundesliga duos this weekend. Now, of course, prices are like semi-inflated in a lot of ways, but buying these cheap cards, like I actually made, like this guy here, this Raider, I paid, he would have been £10 obviously without the credit, but I paid £5.50 of my own money. I sold him for £7.50. Like I actually made money on that one. Burger, I was just like net zero. I lost on Waldschmidt. I actually made on Scally, Joe Scally. So yeah, I'm not expecting to make on all of them. I'm just interested to see what I can actually get back and if I'm going to be in profit or not. I don't care if I'm not at all, because like the value you get out of those crafting clues is kind of hard to what's the word, like put into money. I don't know what the word is right now off the top of my head. There's obviously a special word for it, I just can't think. But yeah, you can't really you just can't value them, you know. They're very hard to value. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Well, I was doing last night with the credits I accumulated over this international period. I've still got 0.02 ETH worth of credits right now. So yeah, we'll see if all these sell. Like I said, I'm keeping this guy because he's going to be part of my Bundesliga team. The rest of them I'll probably sell if I can. You know, they're not worth too much, or £1 and whatever. I have been taking, you know, offers and stuff. Like I'm not sort of like dead set on what I've put them up for. So if you're interested in any of them, just make me a little offer and I'll have a little look. But yeah, as far as like buys and sells, that is it right now. There's nothing else to really go through. So I guess we could probably look forward to this upcoming weekend then, couldn't we? We'll have a little look at the match odds for this weekend. Not everything's back. For example, like Portugal isn't playing this weekend, which is a bit of a bummer. I'll group it by competition. We'll just scan through, you know, what we got going on. So you've got a bit of Argentina this upcoming weekend. Argentinos Juniors, the best fixture there. Austria, Salzburg are big favourites, but Altacha are a decent side. But yeah, still big favourites. Same for Rapid Vienna. Belgium, which I'm like tapped out of at this point now that I don't have in-season cards, but USG at home to Charleroi is a good one, and then Club Brugge away to Leuven. Best two fixtures this weekend. You've got a bit of Brazil in there. You've got a bit of Chile, China, Colombia. We don't really care about those. Croatia, Zagreb, massive favourites, but Osijek are a decent side. Split away is not a terrible fixture either. You've got Midtjylland at home. That's the best fixture in Denmark. Nordjylland at home as well. Not too bad. Ecuador. And then we get into the Championship. Coventry at home. Good fixture. Leicester the same. Birmingham. Yeah, a couple of big favourites there in the Championship, although we don't have in-season cards necessarily. For the Prem, City at home to Everton, Arsenal away to Fulham, Liverpool at home to United. That's a big one. All above 62% win percentages. I mean, the City fixture looks the best if you can get the rotation right, I would say. And then in France, of course, PSG are massive favourites at home. Marseille the same. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. And then, yeah, you got Toulouse at home. Rennes are a decent favourite as well. And Lens are not terrible. Nice versus Lyon's a big game in the French league. And then we get to the Bundesliga 2, couple of 60%ers or just above 50s there. In Paderborn, I love the Paderborn keeper, Dennis Simon. He's an absolute tank right now. I think he played for the German under-21s over the international break. And then we've got the Bundesliga comp with De Klassiker, with Bayern Munich versus Dortmund. Bayern still massive favourites. Leipzig at home to Hamburg's a good one as well on paper. If you don't have any Bayern players or whatever. FC Cologne at home, Union Berlin's at home, St. Pauli. Couple of decent fixtures outside of that. Stuttgart as well was updated 13 minutes ago. Mittelstadt on at 90%. That's what we want to see. We needed to see that. So that's huge. We've got a bit of Italy, AC Milan being the big favourites there. And then we get into the J League. Bit of Mexico, Toluca are massive favourites there. And of course the Eredivisie, PSV massive favourites, Utrecht massive favourites, as are Sparta, Feyenoord, away to Heracles. Norway, Brann, I think, is the best fixture this weekend in all of Sorare. I don't think they have many in-season cards. Yeah, maybe a couple, but not too many. It looks like I actually have that defender. I genuinely didn't realise I have this guy. I couldn't tell. Dragnus? He must be in my vault somewhere. Let's have a look. He looks like a Charleroi player. Oh wow, okay. I bought him 3 months ago. Couldn't have told you I even held him. I mean, he hasn't been scoring that well. I know I bought him as part of a collection piece, to be fair. So yeah, I got the team right, which I'm kind of proud of. Okay, so that's Brann out the way. I think we haven't done Scotland yet. Peru, bit of Russia. I know we don't have any in-season cards. And then, yeah, Scotland, Celtic away to Dundee. Rangers at home are massive favourites, although, I mean, they're in turmoil. Like, we don't even know what's going on with Rangers, really. So, you know, I think the odds are kind of, yeah, a bit dodgy there, to be honest. Like, I don't think that they should be that good, because Dundee United have been pretty good this season as well. Hearts away, who have been really, really good. Motherwell at home to Falkirk's a good one as well. And St Mirren, I've got a couple of Motherwell and St Mirren cards there. K-League Spain, of course, Barca at home. I'm hoping Yamal starts, but I'm not too confident. But even off the bench, I think he could do pretty well. Madrid away to Getafe, and then Atletico at home to Osasuna, all pretty big favourites there. Second division, Switzerland. Turkey's a big one. Fener at home. Besiktas at home. Gallo are away to Istanbul, Bekasir. Gaziantep at home. Big Alexandru Maxim, I'm hoping can do the business for me this weekend. Trabzonspor away. And then we get into the MLS. We're close to the playoffs, I think, aren't we? Not many regular season games left in MLS. Vancouver, big favourite. Cincinnati and Columbus Crew. So, yeah, in for a big weekend. Like I said, there's no Portugal. I can't think of any other leagues that aren't back. But Portugal, maybe they have a cup week. I'm not too sure, to be honest. So, yeah, that is the extent of, well, the first sort of 2/3 of this video, I'd say. Looking back at game week, 15, 16, 17. And now we're in game week 18. And then this upcoming weekend is game week 19. I'll show you what I've already built. It's only a couple of lineups. We do need to do the player thing as well on here, so I can't forget to do that as well. 4 players from each league. Who you think is going to score above a 60 this weekend? Play in the comments as well. I always find it fun seeing what players you guys come up with as well. But yeah, that's going to be my Ligue 1 team for the weekend. I did have Guiri in here, but obviously he's injured sadly. Yeah, everything lies on Nice for me as usual. So yeah, that probably won't go too well. And then yeah, La Liga stuff. With that Kabasi now, it allows me to be a bit stronger again in La Liga. Like, I'm not using my best class. Like, I'm not using my Pedri here or my Vinny. I'm kind of keeping it a bit low key because like I'm on the lowest streak. I'm in Division 3. Like, I don't really want to not waste those classic cards, but like, you know, if I've got another player like a Suazo here, great fixture at home for Sevilla, I'm probably going to use it, right? And it works quite nicely with my Alexis Sanchez, and they're both Chilean, which is also pretty fun for my OCD. We'll see what happens here. I've got Cucho as well, but they play away to Villarreal. I think I would take Yamal off the bench over Cucho starting, if I'm being honest. And then this is the Bundesliga. My debut in Bundesliga looks a bit like this right now. Heidenheim defensive stack, Mittelstadt captain, Senani up front at home to Hoffenheim, and then this Thielmann fella at home to Augsburg. Hoping that can hit 380 points, which would be great for me and whoever's, you know, my duo as well. Didn't mean to do that. So yeah, we'll see how I get on in the Bundesliga. I've done my Eredivisie Super. I need to do all my rare teams. I have made my MLS lineup. I think I only have one, to be fair, which it looks pretty strong, but I'm in D3 because I've tanked my lineups over the last few weeks. Like, I've just been like getting rid of them and just playing Arena. I'm pretty sure Bardi is going to play here. I don't think that should stay at 0 because he's already served his suspension, I believe. And I'm not dead set on who my defender is going to be right now for my main team. I think I'm going to change. Like, I might go out and buy someone. Shock horror. Because, yeah, I don't trust Stephen O'Donnell there. And, yeah, Bardi should play. The second team's actually pretty good, although, like, a lot of aways. But, you know, it still could work out pretty well. And then my contender lineup, which is just plug and play. Like, I literally don't have that many. I don't have anyone outside. I have one more in season. Oh, 2 more, sorry. Bilal Brahimi, who's part of my Nice collection. And this Josh Mees, who is actually injured right now. Those are the only players I have. So going for the 420 on a budget, we'll see. You know, we see how that goes. There's a few interesting things going on this weekend. You got the Sorare on Tour competition, which is if you have cards from these teams, if you finish top 2, like for that team, you'll win some tickets to go watch them play, which is really cool. We've still got the championship going on. I haven't really put much effort into that at all, to be honest. Like, I've just I kind of just haven't bothered with it, which, yeah, might be a mistake, but I just haven't really bothered with it so far. I might do it in another month, but I'm kind of just writing it off for now and using my good cards like elsewhere. I won't be playing Prem. I've already done my Liga and lineups in La Liga. We've done Bundesliga. I'm not playing Jupiler League, so we need to build some Eredivisie lineups. I've got 1D1. To be fair, right, I've actually got a couple of good matchups this weekend. Like, if I go down to the Eredivisie and check, all the matchups. Like, I don't have any Utrecht players, really. I have a couple of PSV players, but only basically Joey Veerman. But I've got, like, a Groningen in-season stack. I've got a Nack Breda in-season stack. and Excelsior, my boys, are at home as well. So, you know, I've actually got a decent array of goalkeepers to choose from here. Like, all at home, basically all the in-season ones. Vyson at home, Van Gassel at home. Debusa isn't, like, he's probably worst choice here. And then, yeah, Bielsa, however you pronounce it, the Polish Nakbreda goalie, he's at home as well. So, yeah, I've got a lot of choice there in goal. My midfielders aren't great in season-wise. They're a bit better when you go to classic. So Veerman probably gets in as my classic sort of smasher there. I've got to avoid the go-ahead boys in the first lineup. So it's probably Yunus Taha up front, I would say, on set pieces for Groningen. And the thing is, like, am I going to get the goalie right? Like, that is the big thing here. They all have really similar clean sheet probabilities. 36% for Groningen, 33% for Breda, and 30% for Excelsior. But we know what Van Gassel can do. Van Gassel just churns all around score for fun. So I'm not too bothered if he doesn't get the clean sheet or not. And I do have the best bonus on him. So that does kind of sway me in a way. Like, the Breda keeper, again, does get decent all around score. I will give him that. But it's just so, like, genuinely, it's so hard to get this right, basically. Like, it's just an absolute crapshoot. Like, I could just close my eyes and just pick one. Like, it doesn't matter, but the chances are I won't get the right one because there's 3 to choose from, and I'm probably not going to choose the one that gets the highest points just by laws of numbers, if that's even a thing. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm bound to pick the wrong one here, sadly. I mean, Vyson and Groningen are the one that, like, you know, they do seem to get the most clean sheets. He's probably the play. But Sparta Rotterdam are not terrible, you know, so neither of any of the other teams really that they're playing. Zwolle aren't great. So I think Vyson is probably the play. But then the issue I come into is I actually don't have a Groningen in-season defender, which kind of just blows a little bit because I have, where's he to? Ooh, where's he to? Rente. Where's my Rente to? I didn't get rid of him, did I? Yeah, there he is. So Rente is actually, Groningen defender. I only have the classic, sadly, but he's injured right now. So yeah, it's a bit of a killer that he is injured in general. Obviously, I couldn't play him with Veerman anyway. So, like, in this scenario here, it's really, like, it's just, I struggle to want to pick any of these players because, like, I want to keep my Breda boys together, you know, with my Breda defender. Same for the Excelsior boys, and then same for the go-ahead boys. I would play Salah Adin if he was on to play, but it doesn't seem like he's going to start, which is a bit of a killer. Like, it kind of knocks the wind out of me a little bit. So this is when I'm like, I don't want to play Vyson, and this then goes into, like, Harry, you're probably making a mistake just because, like, you're not defensive stacking. The next thing I think of is probably going something like this. Boy Kemper's actually been a bit of a smasher over the last few weeks. I know there's a lot of DAs in there which might not be sustainable, but I can kind of stomach doing this without using the Vyson. And then for the extra player, it's probably either Ressing, who is Groningen's best midfielder, I would say, on paper. Yeah, I still, like, although I do have some nice options, mainly the go-ahead boys, but they play in the worst fixture. So I'm probably going to end up doing that. Groningen attacking stack, Veerman, and then, didn't mean for that to be too loud. And then, yeah, the Nekbreda defensive stack. I then, for Division 2, like, I have to use the Vyson at some point, don't I? And it probably ends up being now, if I had to guess. Maro Jr., he's 90% on. I could use him as my defender, and then everything else would have to be in season, which is fine, I guess. I could play Groningen there. I've got 2. I'm just trying to think. Oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could go Lewis Holtby in there. Actually, I don't know. I'm being an idiot. I'm, like, splitting everything up, and it's just confusing me a little bit. I'm going to use one of my Fernandez's here because I have 2 of them, so I could definitely spread him across 2 lineups. And then, yeah, I probably do just go Holtby, realistically. It gives me 6% on the lineup as well, which is pretty fun in Division 2. I am going for the second streak, so we'll see how that works out. So, yeah, I will have 4 lineups here. Another D2. Let's just go with the Excelsior boys next. So, let's go Bronckhorst, Van Gassel, and Van Gassel. Do I play Cherry at home to 20 or Saibari? I think I'm going to use... Now, I'm probably lacking yeah, I'm going to go with Cherry because I'm lacking midfielders, realistically, over forwards, like, in-season wise. So, yeah, Fernandez will go in there, and I need 1 more in-season player. I'll probably just keep it Excelsior based and just do that. Double defense, like if they get the clean sheet, great. You know, I'm on hopefully for a nice score. And then for the final lineup, who do I have left? I have the go-ahead boy. Yeah, I'll probably just use the go-ahead boys here and just pray to the gods that yes, somehow they come out with a decent result against PSV. I mean, it's not out of the realm. Like, it could happen, couldn't it? But very much, very much not likely. So that's the Eredivisie out of the way. Already made my Super lineup, so that's, some nice lineups there. I am like I said, I am lacking a Groningen defender. I really need Rente to come back ASAP. I've done MLS. Challenger Rare is the next one I need to do, because this is, I've got a couple of D2s here, D1s here, and of course Portugal isn't playing, so it's a really good chance, to hopefully get some good finishes this weekend. We still have Austria and obviously Scotland, but I have a ton of Scotland players, so I think something like this is probably going to work. So Callum Ward's probably my best goalkeeper this weekend. Nygren away to Dundee is probably my best in-season forward. Elliot Watt at home again for Motherwell is probably going to be the best midfielder I have. That is in season. Sorry, I have Soyuncu in there. I need someone. So I could go Cameron Carter-Vickers and do double Celtic, and then this player would have to be in season. I'm not going to be under the cap, which is fine. Who's my next best in season card? It's either Zukic. I'd say it's either Zukic. I mean, Valley's definitely. It could be. I mean, it could be Tav as well, couldn't it? At home to Dundee. I'm mixing Rangers and Celtic players there, which is probably a cardinal sin, but that's probably my best team, I would say. I get 2% lineup bonus because I don't use any more than 2 of one player. I think that is, it's probably my best team. The second team should look okay, though. I don't think it'll look terrible. So Shamal George in goal at home to Aberdeen. I've got Derek Cornelius for Rangers. Markman's in with a shout as well. Markman's been on fire recently. I think Valleys definitely has, because I have 2 in-season Valleys, and I definitely need to use one of them here at least. So Valleys goes in there. Up front, it's kind of slim pickings, really, isn't it? Other than maybe Caridis here. I've got a couple of Gala boys, but you just don't know when they're going to start and stuff. We'll go Caridis. I really want to fit Modric in here. That's why I'm trying to get everyone in season, because he's obviously classic. And then for my my defender slot, sorry, this is just bugging out. For my defender slot, it's probably Declan John would stack quite nicely with George, but Noah Markman's on fire right now for Norgesland. He just churns AA for fun. But I think I'm just going to get sucked into the defensive stack now. I'm 3 points. I'm 3 points away from getting the cap 260 here, which really annoys me. So I want to see if there's any sort of wiggling around I could do here. Like, no, Zukic wouldn't do it. I'm just trying to find a player that's, lower L15, but still could punch. And to be fair, there isn't any there. It would probably mean having to change out Modric, which I'm not totally against if it means like I can still find somebody that's still really punchy. Like Kochu at home. That would get me under the cap. I know he's kind of blanked here, but Kochu does have a big score in him. You've got Valley's classic. I obviously can't use the classic with the in season. This is just a contemplation I think everyone has, right? Like, do I play Kochu there because he gets me the 6% on the lineup, or do I play Modric because I think he's probably the best play? That's something that I really struggle. I just always wrestle with, and I think it comes down to how much worse. What is the difference between Kochu's and Modric's score? If Modric scores 80 but Kochu scores 75, I think it probably ends up being worth it with having 6% on the, an extra 4% on the lineup. Whereas if Modric scores 100 but Kochu only scores 60, well then it definitely wasn't worth it, right? Because Captain Modric would be the play, which I don't think the scores are going to be terribly different between Kochu and Modric there, and for that reason, that's why I'll probably still fit Kochu in there and get that 6% on the lineup. For the third lineup, I do have 2 Shamal Georges, so I'll definitely utilize that second one. Markman definitely needs to be used. Second Valleys, I need to use my Zukic. I can't believe I haven't used him yet. Where's he to? Yeah. And then I can use a classic forward, so that could be Could be Yilmaz. Probably is Yilmaz realistically, isn't it? Don't really have much else going on. Gala as well. You know, you've got to fancy him to do pretty well. I'll captain Zukic because why not? Sadly over the cap, but I'm not going to tinker with that one. It's only a D3 lineup. Like I really want to try and get my D1 lineups right, you know, because that's where, you know, the best chances of winning some cash. For the last lineup, we've got Stojanovic away to Salzburg, which is tough. Mitov away to St. Mirren. I'm probably just going to use this Jacob Mayhofer, to be honest, and see what this lineup looks like. Any more in-season players that look pretty good? I have Zubkov, who I haven't played at Super Rare. I might use down in Rare. Let's use Modric here, Karidis, and then what's the last player? Stuart Finley, Longolo, Derek Cornelius. I'll probably use Stuart Finley there. Keep the Hearts boys together. Sadly, don't get the 6%, but we do get 2%, which is nice. So that is Challenger out the way. I do have a notification. Is somebody after... Oh, I sold the card. Yannick Haberba has sold for 30 pence. So I can put Haberba in here. 30%, baby. Every little helps. So he has gone. Challenges out the way. Done contender. I haven't done champion and U23. Let's do under 23 Super Rare first, and then we'll do some of the my player my guesses for this upcoming weekend. Right, let's go. Lacen in goal then. Thoilen Nazawa could be in with in contention as well, away to Standard Liège, but he's not like fully nailed yet. I don't think I can fully trust in his abilities or his just participation of starting. We'll go Casper Whittle, low L15. Like Højbjerg is staring at me, or Hogsburg, but he is playing away to PSG, which is just brutal, isn't it? But he could always get like a last man tackle or something. So I'm not like too deterred away from playing him. Jordan James at home to Pompey feels right. Diego Luna, Bassar Onal is back on to start for NEC. That's great. Tanner Tessman away to Nice. Chaibi away to Freiburg. Very tough fixtures. Dumbia the same. Franjo Serrano is probably the play, right? At home to, I don't even know who that is, but they're not great from what I remember. Diego Moreira is in there as well, away to PSG. Tough game. I think I'm just going to go with Serrano. I'll captain the Welsh wizard, Jordan James, and that'll be 6% on that lineup, which makes me pretty happy. I'll do Rare next, and then I'll move over to Champ. Dennis Simon is definitely my goalkeeper this weekend at home to Darmstadt. I think that is. Smets away to Cercle Bruges. Feels right. Emin Byram could be a play. Zabanier could be pretty interesting. Tolkien. Ooh, did I not play? I don't think I played him. No, I did play him there. I was just thinking I bought him into the side for the international break, and I thought I missed out on one of his big scores. Hartman actually could be pretty useful here at home to Leeds. I think that could be quite sneaky. I don't think he gets into my best team, but I do think he could. Well, he'll definitely be played somewhere. Pedri in midfield alongside Baltazar Rodriguez. I'm gutted about Jack McGlynn. He's sadly having like a foot surgery or something. He's out for the season, which is obviously not too long for the MLS, but yeah, still a bit of a killer there. Julian Bass is back into the Sparta Rotterdam side, which is great to see. I could use Jordan James rare card there. Stoikers away. Dion Bello probably is the play, isn't he? At home to Oziek. Bakayoko at home to Hamburg also could be pretty fun. Yeah, I think it's Bello. You got to back the fixture there, I think. And then for the extra player, my main lineup, Zabani definitely looking at me. Bahoya definitely kind of looking at me. João Pedro away to Forest. Probably isn't a terrible game, is it, with the way Forest are playing. Diego Luna away to St. Louis is probably pretty fine. I think I'm going to go double forward and back Bakayoko. Double forward, Pedri captain. Seems pretty tasty. And then moving over to Champ. I don't have a Champ Super Rare lineup, sadly, this weekend. So only Rare. Do I back the Bayern boys in that in this fixture? I probably shouldn't I? Like, there's probably going to be goals either end, but I still fancy everyone to kind of score okay, like without, maybe getting the clean sheets. let's just keep tarring. I hate him with all my guts. Although he did obviously win me that middle stat. I hate his scores. Sorry, I shouldn't say I don't hate him personally. Adrian Thomason's definitely looking at me there at home to Paris FC. Soboslai is definitely in with a shout as well. Aliesh, nah, it's probably, yeah, it gets a bit dodgy there. Let's go Thomason. I think I'm going to use Diaz, and then I'm going to use Tovan. Where's he to? Tovan just made his, well, not his debut for France, but he's like back playing with France. Obviously plays for Lens as well. I'm going to captain Diaz. I've got a weird feeling about, not that I don't think Kimmich will score well, but Diaz right now seems to be that like alternate play, which seems to be working out for me quite nicely. I'll do one of my all-star lineups, then we'll get into some player picks for this weekend. Let's do all-star rare. Who's going to be my keeper is the big question. Toronto, ooh, Tim Wellenreuther could be quite fun. Away to Heracles, maybe has a good score in him, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it. Unistal is definitely not the play. Brad Guzan, sadly, that's Brad's last. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna play Brad Guzan in his last game. I think. Oh, maybe. Yeah, it might be his last game for Atlanta. You know, I know he's retiring at the end of the season. I just don't know if this is the last game or not. I'm assuming it has to be close to being one of the last. Let's go Sofiane El Karaouni. Oh, Hani Mukhtar home to Miami. That feels pretty fun. Where's the Lord? Let's get the Lord in. Cesinya's the second coming of the Lord, isn't he? He's the Korean Lord. And then extra player, either Dennis Bouanga. I need a proper smasher. Zaha could be quite fun, but I don't think he constitutes like smasher. Rodrigo De Paul. I mean, Ibarra's been insane recently. He's definitely within a shout. We are going into the dregs there a little bit. You know what? Kadri away to Zolte isn't terrible. I think I'm just going to go Bouanga. I think I'd be stupid not to. You know, the Rapids aren't great at all. He is coming back from international duty, and that's one thing to kind of worry about this weekend is like, there's just so much to worry about as far as like, you know, people are losing passports. Depay lost his passport, for example. Like, crazy stuff like that's been happening. But we'll end the video then on the tracker. We need to pick 12 players. I'm going to start in the Prem, and I'm just going to guess and hopefully guess right 12 players that are going to score above 60. And my eyes have just been drawn to Sunderland there, right, lads? And it's going to have to be Xhaka, isn't it? Right, Baby Traders infiltrated my setup. So if you hear a screaming baby, you know it's him. I haven't got two. I've definitely only got one baby. Right, so we've got Xhaka in there then. Anyone else at home? Liverpool at home to Man United could be worth looking at. I mean, City, Haaland's the obvious one, right? But you know what I'm like. I don't like picking the obvious players that I think are going to score above the 60. Anyone else there, though? Let's go Foden. I don't think Foden's necessarily obvious, is he? Let's go Xhaka, Foden. They don't have to be midfielders. They can be any position. Can they score above 60? Can I be proven right? Brighton at home. Tottenham Villa could be quite interesting. Who's Tottenham's attacking players? Yeah, Kudus. I've picked Kudus before, and I think I fancy him this weekend. Home to Villa. And then one more player for the Prem. West Ham at home could be quite sneaky. I mean, if Bowen's on to play, it's quite hard. Yeah. Should I just go Bowen? All at home. You know what I'm like, lads. My home bias has definitely kicked in. So I know for the French one, I'm definitely picking. Let's go Thomason. I like picking some of the players I already own just because I know them more than players that I don't own. Who else is, PSG. I don't really want to touch PSG, to be honest. Rennes doesn't have anything. Toulouse could be fun. 63% win percentage at home to Metz. Anyone from here Jan Gobo's pretty good. Aaron Dunham's probably the one, though. I think he takes set pieces. Let's go with Aaron Dunham. Let's get rid of this. I don't need that. And then Toulouse. Yeah, we've done Toulouse. Nice. Yeah, I'm probably not touching Nice. Lorient could be quite sneaky. Anyone for Lorient against Stade Brestois? Pagis. Yeah, you know what? Pagis. I don't think he's really kicked on yet, but I think I fancy him for a little DA this weekend. Baby Trade, what do you think? Is he going to get a DA? Yeah, Baby Trade said he's going to. And then Marseille, I mean, Greenwood, sadly, the obvious one. Is there anyone else? Angel Gomez, Pacquiao could be pretty fun. Yeah, let's go Pacquiao. Pacquiao, Pagis, Donham, and Thomason. In La Liga, who did I say earlier that I liked that isn't? You could go Atletico Madrid, maybe. They have they have a good fixture, but trusting Atletico players is probably a cardinal Sorare sin. Villarreal at home to Betis. I mean, Betis are really good, but Villarreal are also really, really good. Pepe could be pretty fun. Pepe, Moliero. I'm kind of picking all attacking players. I'm going to back Sergi Cardona there, only because I do own one, and I probably will play him somewhere. Betis have quite a few players that maybe are coming back from sort of... I have to put Escandel in there. I'm probably cursing him here, but Escandel at home to Espanyol. Espanyol without Puado. Sevilla at home to Mallorca could also be a really nice fixture outside of the obvious players. I think I'm going to back Sanchez, lads. I think Alexis at home. I think it could be like one of his... Not his first start for sure, but definitely he hasn't had too many starts so far. I know that. Celta Vigo at home. Getafe at home. What about... not Izzy Payazon. What's his name? Carlos Vicente. It doesn't look like he's fully nailed. I know this guy scores really well. Tenaglia. Let's go with him. And then for Bundesliga, I'm going to back Sinani because I know he's playing at home. Sinani at home to Hamburg. I need a couple more players. I don't want to pick any Bayern boys. Not to say it's obvious that they're going to score really well against Dortmund, but like there's obviously a decent chance that they do just because of how good they are. Heidenheim at home, Stuttgart away, Mainz at home to Leverkusen. That's a pretty tough game. I'm going to back Bakayoko. I backed him in my D1 under 23 where let's back him again. Bakayoko. And then last two players, Baby Trades. Who do you think the last two players should be? Oh, Baby Trades is not happy. Baby Trades is not happy. You're okay, mister. You're okay. You're okay. You've got Pikachu down there. FC Cologne. Anyone from FC Cologne that could work? I know I have that one player. Oh, Jacob Kaminski's been really good. I'm going to go Kaminski. And then our final player. Again, I say I don't want to pick a player I own. I've obviously done that many times. Like I don't want to pick the most obvious player, which is Mittelstadt, from my Bundesliga stuff. But Freiburg at home to Frankfurt, that feels like there's going to be goals. And I'm actually going to back an away player. Yes, you've heard it right. Can Azun is going to be my final player, the only away player I've picked in the whole in the whole setup. So yeah, wish me luck, lads. Yeah, play with me in the comment section. It's pretty fun to see who you think is going to score this week. Score well this weekend without picking any of the obvious ones, because then it's just kind of too easy. But at the same time, Haaland could definitely blank, right? Baby Trades, let me just do the intro and then I'll give you all my attention, mate. Okay, lads, I massively appreciate you. Sorry I didn't upload last week with the COVID stuff. But yeah, I'm back to business now. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. It was a long one, to be fair, which is in line with what I've been doing with these. With this series in general, so I hope you do enjoy them. Please do give the video a little hype as well if you've got the option to. I think you can do it on you can definitely do it on mobile. I'm not sure if you can do it on desktop, but either way, lads, give me a little comment. I'll reply to you in the comments, and yeah, leave a like if you haven't already. I appreciate you all. Good luck this weekend. Baby Trades, you saying good luck? Baby Trades is not happy. He does say good luck though, lads. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next week.